looks like everything is starting up here. I think we're starting up. Come on. There we go. It looks like everything is live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would get another one of these cardio lives in. Hopefully this goes really well. I'm hoping we get some good, solid engagements, some good questions, some good comments, getting these Amazon wish lists up. And then we'll create a community tab post, right? Hold on, let me pin all these comments. All right. So we might need to do community tab for the tubes here just to make sure it hits the feed. So hopefully it's a little stronger than the one before this. And yeah, I hope for a nice, strong live. The last one was a little slower than I would have liked. So let's see if we can correct that this time. I think that we can. I think we can do better. All right, let's see if that helps. All right, we got a community tab post up. Got everything in the feed. No more than 3 pieces of content up on the tubes. And we'll see if that does the trick for the day. But so far a little bit slow. All right. Hello, Lionel. How you doing over here in the Facebook? So there we go. A few views finally trickling in on the tubes. Hopefully this is good. Get some good cardio in, then I can eat breakfast. All right. I got chicken brown rice, and broccoli in the Instant Pot right now. Gonna be delicious. What's going on, King Dale? Drop a like for me there, brother. Let's get those engagements up. Looking lean. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think we're recomping decently at this weight at this point. The training's going good. Strength is good. Cardio is doing great. So yeah, everything's kind of in a good place there. You know, it's all in a good spot, honestly. All right. It's all in a good spot. And let us hope that it continues with that trend. All right, but welcome, brother. Yeah, awesome, man. So, we got any fitness-related questions? King Dale, just keep it fitness, man. I want to stay on topic. This is a fitness channel, strength and fitness. Let's try to stick to fitness-related stuff. I'm going to start making fun of everybody who has dating questions. So, like, I'm going to start just literally making fun of anybody. I just can't. How was your run? Run was pretty good, Paul. Run was good. My app messed up. So I got it logged on Facebook, but and it was a good run. It was like 32 minutes, but the app didn't record. I thought I hit the record button. I dropped it in the fanny pack, zipped it up on that second phone, and I checked and it didn't record. It was still waiting to start. But the run was good. I just don't have run data. All right. King Dale says, I believe you once said the pull-up movement is one of the best exercises. Yes, one can do to work several muscle groups. You stand by that? I do pull-ups 3 times a week on camera, Dale. Dale, considering you literally see me do weighted pull-ups 3 days a week on camera, religiously perform that exercise every single workout, what do you think my stance is on it still? I mean, it's an exercise that I perform religiously every workout. I never miss pull-ups in a workout. John says on Facebook, yo, what's up? How many jogging should a person do a week? I mean, it depends. You can start with 1 or 2. It's like with everything else, you have to balance recovery. I'm only doing 3 because I do list cardio every day on top of it, and I lift really, really hard 3 days a week. Like, I'm talking all 3 of my workouts. You see me doing rep work with 315 on the bench. You see me doing rep work with 500 pounds on the deadlift. Like, those are normal for me to do 3 times a week. Like, I train for 2 hours with really heavy weights. So I have limited recovery. So in my case, I only run 3 days a week, man. 3 to 5 miles, nice, good run. And then I just do other list cardio. But I mean, a person could run 5 or 6 days a week, depending on their conditioning, their training load, their recovery, what they have going. Like I personally choose to do it on my off days. So I have 3 lifting days, 3 running days, but then we do lists like this on the bike on all the days. Do you think supersetting pull-ups with dips is a good idea? Arnold likes supersetting chest and back. Yeah, I have clients who do it. Right? I have clients who do it. Paul, how am I able to recover? I have my lifestyle like perfectly dialed in. My conditioning is high from all the stuff. My diet is perfect. Keep in mind, my calorie intake is extremely high because of my energy turnover needs. So that helps. So my antioxidant load and everything is extremely high. So diet's dialed in, but I'm also manage the training carefully. I use good form, full range of motion on everything. So I've built my work capacity up to be able to do that. Right. So it's a matter of having accumulated the ability to do so over time. So yeah, I mean, I'm able to recover because I've adapted my body to it. But again, lifestyle is also perfect, and we space everything out in such a way to allow me to do that, right? King Dale says, I can tell you enjoy running. I also like running, get you ready for days. As you said, free natural movements, which near anyone unless physically disabled can do. Yeah, I mean, the little part was hard to read, King Dale, but I get the idea. I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, we should all be able to run. Hey, Coach, what's up, Peppermint? Lionel's still posting in Spanish all the time, but it's all good. He's in my Facebook. Hit like for Coach. Tell him, man. His last one, I'm not sure why these aren't getting quite as good. We should be good on this. Like, I'm not abusing the algorithm. The tube is only getting 3 pieces, and I'm just going to stay consistent with it. Why can't I see King Dale's? I don't know. I see him just fine. He's typing a bunch. I know you enjoy dips and certain pull-ups, but the good old-fashioned push-up is the movement you would suggest. I don't do push-ups. I'm just not a fan. I don't see the point. I don't see the benefit. Why? I mean, you could just bench press. I mean, dips are a better movement, I'm just not a fan of the push-up, not really. I just don't think it brings enough to the table compared to these other movements. People are like, well, you don't need equipment. You need equipment. Otherwise, you're over here on your palms. You can't load it. It requires just as much equipment as the other stuff does. So no, I really don't see the point. I don't do it. I don't program it. And I know that upsets a lot of people. I don't know why so many people are obsessed with it. Lots of people are obsessed with push-ups. I just don't see the appeal training or biomechanically. Yeah, Peppermint, I don't know. The tube's got all sorts of problems. Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't think the push-up is an intense exercise, and the burn doesn't feel the same. I mean, I get it if you weigh 400 pounds. But what's the point? Like, what is a 200-pound man going to get out of a push-up who's strong? I mean, I could do 12, 13 plus reps with 225 on a pause bench. Like, said, a push-up's going to be like 50% of your body weight. Like, what's the point? Like, I do work sets of 315 on a bench. I do weighted dips with 90 to 100 pounds for work sets. What am I going to get out of a push-up? Do we want to do 200 reps? So, like, what's the point? I mean, if I just want to do a lightweight, I guess I could just bench press 135 all day. I just get in there and bench press for 30 minutes straight. I don't see the point. And so again, I don't understand people being enamored with it. In fact, I saw a guy who does only body weight stuff at home and pushes push-ups, and he's talking about push-up programming. And it's like he built a whole little channel around. He comes through my feed and the reels, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not going to try to be mean. I'm not going to body shame anybody. I would not be personally happy being that small. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. The amount of muscle that he has from just doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of push-ups all the time and programming them, I personally wouldn't be content with that small amount of muscle that he has. I just wouldn't. So if that's the best you're getting out of it, this is a guy who does like 500 push-ups a day, and he barely looks like he lifts. I mean, I'm not interested in that. And let alone get into the strength end. And if I want to do conditioning, I run. I run 3 days a week, guys. I get out and run. So people say, what about the conditioning? You can do push conditioning. But I run, guys. Arnold believed in shocking the muscles. I don't. No, I don't agree with that. The purpose of rotating movements is to avoid overuse injuries. No, I don't agree with shocking the muscles. You want to shock the muscles into more growth, put 5 more pounds on the bar, do another rep, done. You have now stimulated a new adaptation that the muscle has to adapt to grow. That's it. If you need to shock the muscle into growth, all you need to do, you ready? Add 1 rep. Add 1 pound to the bar. You will now shock the muscles into more growth. Done. It's called progressive overload. Running is probably the best conditioning out there. Hey, I like mine, but I do it barefoot. You guys caught it on the vlog this morning. One of my neighbors, she saw me run by. She goes, "Where'd your shoes?" She's walking her dog. I've done that. Like, "Where'd your shoes?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't wear them when I run. I run without shoes." She was like, "This hilarious. Are we running barefoot?" I don't know. The hot Texas asphalt. Hey, King. It seems Mike Minzer and Arnold had completely different training philosophies. You have to quantify that statement. I've said this probably 100 times in lives. Which Mike Minzer philosophy are you talking about? Are you talking about Mike Minzer, Olympia competitor? Or are you talking about Mike when he went crazy and was methed out and stopped lifting weights completely and started doing lectures and writing? Because those are 2 entirely incompatible philosophies. So which Mike Minzer philosophy are we talking about? Bodybuilder Minzer or meth addict non-lifter Minzer? Because they're not compatible. They're completely different philosophies. So which one are we talking about? Because nothing Minzer wrote about later had anything to do with the way he trained when he was winning bodybuilding shows. What do you mean less is more? No, that's not how he trained. He did like 10 work sets of muscle group when he was winning bodybuilding shows. So, I saw your last training vlog, overhead press going up slowly but surely, Carol. We're going to get it back. I'm going to get that overhead press back. I'm going to do it. So, but here's the other thing. Like, why are we still, it's 2025. Like, why are we still talking about the Arnold versus Minzer? So, like, why is Mike Minzer even relevant anymore? It's still kind of strange that he's got a cult following. He was a really good bodybuilder. He was a very smart guy who went crazy later in life and wrote a bunch of insane stuff that clearly didn't work. Nobody ever became a champion following it. He got published, but I mean, it was just drug-fueled rants, right? And it wasn't based on reality or something. So I don't understand why he's even a topic still. It just doesn't make sense. Are you completely happy with your home gym? You're eyeing any new equipment? Honestly, I could stand to get rid of some of it at this point. I don't have space. So the idea of adding to it, I'm completely out of space. I already hate having to rearrange stuff to get to my equipment as it is. Like, just to be happier with it, I almost need to sell some of it to make more space to move around in my garage for me to actually be happy. I don't have enough space. Some of the bars, I'd almost sell the belt squat if someone made a good offer who could come get it, pay up front. But, it's just stuff I don't use anymore. Definitely the trap bar, some of the multi-grip bars. I noticed Minzer seemed to be really intelligent man, certainly more articulate than Arnold, but he seemed to, since Arnold had more natural charisma, which I can understand why maybe. Are you certain that Minzer was more intelligent than Arnold, or was he simply more articulate in English? I don't know that he was more intelligent than Arnold. Fair enough, Jason. Barbell plates in Iraq are going to be king, right? Yeah, my take on Minzer is popular now is the attractiveness of, right. Well, people love the idea that, hey, man, I could work out for 20 minutes and go home. Basics always win. Yep. Greetings. Good morning. Hope your day is going well. It is. It's going good. It's going pretty good, man. Hope yours is going well, too. It is trucking along. Yeah, but I think people forget, too, it's not like Minzer produced any champions with his philosophies. Belt squat doesn't have to go completely. You could always do the old school way if you wanted, which, I mean, I suppose it worked. Or I could just do back squats. I could do back squats, box jumps, and sleds and get literally everything I need. Get my shoulders where I want them, and I could do some front squats, too. But what I mean is the belt squat takes up a huge chunk of space. Like, I am literally out of floor space. Just setting up to film, I have to shuffle stuff around in my gym just to get filming angles every single workout. I'm out of floor space. Yeah, I'll keep the reverse hyper. I probably would never get rid of that. But I mean, realistically, do I ever really need anything but squats for my legs? And I could always jump and do sleds outside of that. I can build massive legs doing nothing but squatting. I've done it before on camera. I did nothing but back squats in the UK to get my squat up over 500 pounds. And I had giant ass quads and over a 500-pound squat doing nothing but back squats. Did I not? That's right. I remember those videos are still there, right? John Little was apparently one man who was completely in awe of Minzer and still praying for his YouTube. I'm very familiar with John Little. Keep in mind, all the bookstores had all his books on the shelf when I was younger. You walk into Walden Books, there was all John Little stuff. We had static contraction training. We had the power factor training, all his stuff. He's a complete quack. We have no evidence that he ever lifted weights in his life. We have no idea what he looked like. What's your quads? I'm not sure. They were like 27 last time I checked. I mean, I put up the pictures all the time, though, and you see videos. Your training now looks like rugby players training, only effective stuff, right? I mean, my workouts are built around, you watch a regular workout, it's squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, rows, weighted pull-ups. We throw in some band work, do some jumping, some sleds, lots of running, right? Although I'm not doing as much sled work now, I'm doing a lot of box jumps. It's really all we need. Lift 3 days a week, run 3 days a week, do lifts on the bike every day. I'm doing arm stuff with bands and stuff though. Like even on my off days, I've been doing band press downs, just to keep the elbows healthy with all the pressing. I am 48, so. Yeah, I mean, so that's stuff for this year, I'd like to hit those same numbers I hit earlier in the year at under 200 pounds towards the end of the year. Like I want to bench 350 and squat 500, all clean, good long pause bench, all that again under 200. I want that a good 5K time. Yep. I get the sense you like to keep your training. I really do. And as much as I program conjugate stuff for some clients, and I don't mind, I'm okay with programming 3-week waves of bands and chains on their speed work back and forth. I'm okay with rotating 12 max effort exercises. For my own training personally, I keep it simple. And a lot of my athletes, I keep it simple. Like if you look at Taha's stuff, we keep his training super simple. Super, super simple. But he's a non-competitor. He does some flag football and stuff, but he's competing against guys in their 20s and he's in his 40s. But I put his workouts up. People are like, what? He does 3 to 4 movements. We have 4 movements. Like we have a handful of movements. He only does 4 exercises a workout, does boxes and sleds, and he deadlifts 500 pounds in his 40s, squats over 400, plays flag football. He's nice and lean fit right now. And I keep his stuff super simple. And a lot of my guys, it's like that. If I can talk them into doing it, it's hard to get clients to do it. They want to do different stuff. To get them to come in and just squat or deadlift every workout first. But even for him, it's like, we squat, bench press, and pull-ups one workout. The next workout, we deadlift, overhead press, pull-ups. Well, actually, I think I have that reversed. I think I have him squat because then he can stay in the squat rack and do overhead press. And then we have usually like pullovers or some other exercise at the end, pullovers or tricep work. And then he jumps. And then he uses his sled every day at home. He has a reverse hyper at home. And clients like that, I prefer that for a lot of them. But we do see the complicated guys like Ted with the conjugate stuff. Right, and they act like that's the key, but honestly, most bodybuilders, the drugs are the key. It's not. Their training's not magical. They're not isolating that head of the muscle. It's just they're just doing lots of work, plenty of pump work, plenty of drugs, genetics. The drugs are the biggest factor for most serious bodybuilders. That's why they can have 17 different training styles and look very similar on stage. That should be something that people realize. When you look at a bunch of pro bodybuilders at the Olympia, and they all look really similar, and they have vastly different training styles, that should tell you something. Is it true that doing compound movements alone works the abdominals enough not to worry about direct ab work? And that's a point of major, we could argue that all day. I suppose if you do enough, you're going to do a lot of standing work, though, a lot of pull-ups. But are you telling me just squat and deadlift enough? Probably not. Not optimal. I should be on pros and cons 3 times a week. Full body, very useful stuff in there. Glad you liked it. Overhead pressing, going to give more gains in years of laterals. Interesting. I get this same sense when one is on a huge level of steroids, the training becomes secondary. It does. Why is it always the Eastern European guys that have the insane strength genetics of others everywhere I see? I don't know, man. How about me, dude? I don't have them insane strength genetics. Everyone's like, didn't you squat 405 your first year in the gym? Yeah. Which, yeah, I'm serious. It took me a year to squat 4 plates at under 200 pounds. We have strong slump genetics, right? Suka Blayet. Or as my people would be like, Yashalash. Sorry, because I'm Czech. I don't speak Czech, but I understand it. It's funny. All right. Great grandma Prajak didn't speak English, and she used to babysit me. Yes, there's a Z in there. Of course there is. In a name like Prajak, you know there's a Z in the middle of it. All right. Just got to watch out for overuse. Right. I mean, that's definitely the big deal when you're doing the same movements with high frequency. Overuse, it is a serious concern. But you also need to limit volume on those things. Don't try to do 20 sets of squats. They say Franco Columbu, pound for pound, was stronger than Arnold, had better physique. Nobody cares about pound for pound. He's shorter, so we already know pound for pound stronger. So you go take any 2 powerlifting champions, the shorter one always has stronger pound for pound. This is already understood. That's why we don't use it. That's why it's not used in strength sports. So why wouldn't he be pound for pound stronger? He's like 6 inches shorter. Isn't that true of every powerlifting champion? Almost very few exceptions. Yeah, but one good set on the big 3 set each workout should be a risk of overuse. No, absolutely not. Definitely not 3 times a week. Have you ever had lateral hip pain and or outer thigh band? Yeah, I've had lateral hip pain before, here and there at different points. Particularly when I was training like 6 days a week and stuff. That's where you run into those problems. When I'm training 3 days a week, it's pretty much non-existent. Things like that just simply don't occur, right? For me personally. But just speaking for myself. Checking something. Just a second here, guys. I'll be back to y'all's questions in just a minute. I got to post some dank memes. Got to make that meme money too. That's right. Because remember, guys, dank memes melt steel beams. We didn't even get any questions in that time. I tab away for a minute and nobody has anything to say. Y'all killing me. Streams are a little slow today. I don't know why. I'm going to keep doing my thing, though. We're going to let the algorithm do what it's going to do. Man, this is really slow. We're wasting a slot. I could have put an informative video in to have 16 views. Oh, well. What you going to do? But at least it's some extra cardio. Those tend to also come when I'm doing a lot of really wide box squatting too, more likely also. Hey, Dale, you're really obsessed with that one era of bodybuilding. Interesting. Like, you do know that there have been other eras of bodybuilding, right, beyond the 70s. Just saying, bodybuilding did not start and stop in the 70s. Many people speak about the high repetition network. No, they don't. I've never heard anybody speak about Serge Ubers. In the last 20 years, I don't think anyone has mentioned that. Do you think people would this even? Yeah, I think that would be a bit excessive for most people, yeah. If you could have a cage match against anyone, who would it be? I don't know who would pay the most money. Right? So my answer would be, which one is going to make me the most money? Whoever's going to pay the most money. Because I don't care if I win or lose. Like, I'm not a cage fighter. I don't care, right? As long as I survive and I make a lot of money. So my response would be, I don't know who would pay me the most money to get in a cage match with. Like, I don't have any particular person. I don't really care. I'm not even really interested in doing a cage match. But if I'm going to do one, I'm all about the money. Like, literally, I only care about the money. So who's paying me the most? Coach is about his paper. I will get paid. That's it. So who's paying me the most money? Too many says it's too much. Like, it's almost, I don't know. Like, I mean, I've done 1,000 crunches in a day before, but I mean, you know, I like doing crunches sometimes in bed at night. But no, I don't see anyone talking about that, honestly. Like, you're the first person I've heard bring that up in like a decade, Dale. There's like many people, like you, one other guy somewhere on. Come on, bro. Why are we just? You're obsessed with this one era. It's kind of funny because all your questions have been about that same era. It's kind of comical. Why don't we talk about the bodybuilding era right before that? They were amazing too, with less drugs. Why don't we talk about Steve Reeves or Reg Park or any of those guys? Right? But yeah, no, for most people that would be silly. 1,000 sit-ups every morning is kind of, you're not going to get a real adaptation. That's just going to be cardio for him at that point. I don't know. Yeah, this has been super slow. What else we got going on? Too many sit-ups is too much. Like, I'm a bigger fan of crunches than I am sit-ups themselves, though, because if you're just trying to train the abdominals, it doesn't have a big range of motion. Speaking of Reg Park, I heard he has the bodybuilder that actually inspired Arnold. Yes. You didn't hear it. Arnold said so, right? Arnold said that was his hero. That is who inspired him, and he loved the fact that he got to meet him later and train with him and stuff later on. He said that was kind of his idol. Yeah. No, that wasn't just heard. That was pretty much directly from Arnold. There were even pictures of them together and him saying, he just thought it was amazing he got to meet his idol, once he became a serious bodybuilder. Reg Park inspired a lot of people, though. Future legend. Someone finished a cut, they should just reverse diet or jump straight back into make. The reverse dieting thing is a crazy scam to make money off people. There's nothing to it. They should go straight to maintenance. Like, why wouldn't they? Why would you? The reverse diet thing is, you do know it's a scam, right? It's been proven to be a scam that prep coaches use to con people out of money or to sell books. Because you have to remember, a reverse diet means you're still in a deficit also. So you're still technically cutting. Hey, Jordan, outside of looking at it and calling it as a scam, there's no actual benefit to you knowing what a reverse diet is. Like, do you want me to explain the scam? It's a method to where you take someone who just finished a bodybuilding or a bikini or a figure show, and instead of taking their calories back up immediately, you add tiny amount of calories back in. No. It's a sustained deficit to where you take like 10 weeks to slowly add calories back in to bring them back to maintenance. And you charge them every month to coach them through it. Like they coach you through the reverse diet your coach does. So that you don't have a quick weight rebound and panic. Because keep in mind, if you go back to maintenance after a contest level cut, you'll gain 10, 15 pounds in a week sometimes. When all the water and stuff comes back. Yeah. Jason, when CrossFit first came on the scene, a lot of CrossFitters were going on about how fit and badass they were and critiquing bodybuilding form and lack of fitness. Do you remember this? I remember the bodybuilders critiquing the CrossFitters more than anything and calling them gay and all the memes. Do you also think if you were doing 45 minutes of incline walking or cardio, they can reduce that as well as a cut? Oh, I would rather die than do on an incline walk. I hate treadmills. Talk about, oh my God, the most boring thing imaginable. 45 minutes of incline cardio, they could reduce. Well, yeah, I mean, in theory they could, but why would they? You should be doing your cardio year round. Why are you using it just to cut? That's not that much incline, honestly, dude. CrossFit really do know for the fit. Yeah, the kipping pull-ups is the worst thing that ever came out of CrossFit. I hold a generally favorable view of CrossFit. But those kipping, those flop-ups, no, absolutely not. No future. I think they could just add some carbs back in. It's old, but just watch your Dallas McCarver video, right? I mean, I called it 6 months before his death, right? I predicted several guys' deaths in a row, unfortunately. Are you talking about the autopsy one where I discussed the blood work? There's a couple of them. I could tell the video on this, but I think you'll give me the straight up answer. I mean, 45 minutes of cardio a day is not that much. Like that's just normal fitness stuff. That's not even like cutting. So why would you remove that? Shouldn't you be doing that all the time anyways? Like your cardio regimen should be your cardio regimen. I get it when you're doing hours for a contest prep, but 45 minutes, why would you need to remove that? Are you not trying to be healthy? I mean, I do more than that every day. You know, how beneficial are kettlebells and well trained? They can be good conditioning tools. Cali Muscle, he did. You're right. Cali Muscle survived my predictions. Now, he had a heart attack around the time I said he would die. But he did beat my predictions. So I am not a prophet. Cali Muscle survived my list of people who were going to die by certain dates. He did survive, technically, but he had a heart attack. Yeah, so, but I mean, I understand the reverse dieting, but it's 45 minutes of cardio. No, just add food back in. All right. Good afternoon, Coach. What's up, David? You know, what's going on? How you doing, broski? Brohamalis. Bro Sidon, king of the Broshan. Bromeister. And know you have a good heart, brother, and that you're glad your predictions on Cali muscle was 100%. I am glad. I was never happy about those predictions. Like every one of those, when the people died, I never gloated. It was always, damn, it sucks that I was right. It's tragic, you know, because I don't want to see people who are promoting lifting and fitness die. I don't want to see that happen, even if I disagree with their stuff. And I think Cali Muscle is a horrible human being, provably so. I mean, his prison record tells us everything we need to know. And he was never like repentant about it. He bragged about it. Terrible human being. I still don't want him dead, you know, right? I still don't think the guy, I don't think he should die because of it. But, you know, self-inflicted craziness, you know, I don't know. I mean, he's still going to do himself in. He won't stop doing crazy stuff. So, you know, I'm surprised he survived after the crazy watermelon antics and other hospitalization from it. I don't know, man. I don't get these people. I just don't get it. I mean, granted, I do crazy extremes, but it's not that type of crazy extreme. Oh no, I run barefoot. Oh no, I deadlift 3 days a week. You know, I follow a really clean diet, but there's no deficiencies. You know? Yeah, you cannot like someone, but at the same time not much harm. Exactly, Dale. That's the point. And a lot of people can't get that through their head. It's like, look, you can step back and say, I don't like this person. I think they're a bad human being, but I don't wish them harm. Isn't it funny? He backed off on the stuff when you warned about his health. He did. He started shrinking after I made those videos, didn't he? Really quick. Because he watched all those other people die that I warned about. Because Callie watched my stuff. He used to clap back at me. Would setting a goal of a 365 or 5 squat be a good idea and slow cut after? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with your training, Dingleberry. What do you mean? No, you can make plenty of progress on a small surplus. It's just going to be muscle growth, not fat leverages. So no, I don't think you need to do a big bulk. Do a very, very, very slow bulk and gain lean muscle and build up. Dude, you're talking about you were squatting 215 for 5 the other day. Come on. You don't need to get fat to do that, man. You come across a good Christian man, I don't think you'd wish harm on anyone. I'm a Christian, but I wouldn't say that I'm a particularly good one. Like, I am a very flawed human being. But I'm not getting fat, though, still flat stomach. Yeah, but you don't have to gain fat to gain muscle, Dingleberry, is my point. You don't have to gain a bunch. But I wouldn't gain a bunch of fat just to get the squat up. Just keep squatting. Gain weight slowly. Put in the work and build it up, right? Didn't tell you not to gain at all. Just don't gain a bunch of weight. You don't need to. All right. Anyone who can squat 365 for 5 is definitely stronger than Ken Body. This is true. But he's not there. He squats 215 for 5. So he's talking about putting 150 pounds on there. I know from yesterday or the day before. Not gaining that much fat, though, and stamina is getting hurt. How would you know without measuring body fat? Well, you can look in the mirror. You can see changes in waist size. Can't see that. You know? It's like hair growth. True, body fat can sneak up on you quick. 360 for 5 is absolutely a 400 squat for a max. I can tell you right now, there is no point ever where I could hit 5 reps of 365 and only have a 400 squat. That never happens to me. That's minimum 430 for me, 425, 440. For me personally. Like if I can squat 405 for 5, or let's say I can squat 405 for 7, I 100% chance can walk over and do 500 next week. Every single time. Like guaranteed I'm not missing it. And I know because I've literally done that back and forth. Like for me, when I can squat 500, my 405 rep max is around 6 to 7 usually. But 365 for 5, zero chance I'm not walking in and smoking 405. Like that's not even imaginable. But yeah, like you said, closer to 420, 425. True, I am better on singles. Now we're talking raw. This is with no sleeves or anything like that thrown in. Man, sleeves, I can rep for days with sleeves. I pick up like 5 reps. So like a 5 or 6 rep max, I can do 10 reps with it if I put sleeves on. All right. Everyone is dunking on Dr. Mike's terrible. I mean, some of his stuff, I mean, the idea, the way he does his periodization is to sell apps and to sell books. It's not based on science. We all know this. Because I prefer not to use them. I've only worn them at certain phases, getting ready for powerlifting meets, and I chose not to wear them. My last meet, I broke a state record with no sleeves. I didn't even put them on. So I walked in and I opened, and then I hit a 496 to grab a state record with no sleeves, and then I took a knee because I wanted to get a deadlift for state record next for masters. Like your goal is to weigh under 200 for health specifically, right? Yep. So I didn't even wear them the last meet. So I just wanted that, the 220 Masters 2 record. So I only needed 496. It's exactly what I needed to get the record. And I knew I could do it without sleeves. So I just walked in and did it without sleeves. I didn't even do a third attempt. Is it worth it to still compete at your age? I think it can be. Under 200 is pretty hard for anyone who has muscle maturity and close to genetic limit, right? No, they got broke, Saudi. Dude, someone smoked my squat record by 50 pounds already. Man, like I set that squat record, some dude came in and busted it by 50 pounds, like over 20 kilos. Like he just smoked it. What you gonna do, right? But if I compete again, I'll probably do the 198, not the 220 anyways. Because I walk around like 209 now. Because I'm not trying right now. I'm like not really in a deficit. I'm just recomping a bit. And I'll work back down, but I'm enjoying the training performance. I'm enjoying the workouts being right near maintenance again. I'm enjoying the running. I'm enjoying the lifting. So I'm like, let me just recomp a little, and then we'll work it back down. All right, makes sense? I mean, for records, it's just because I'm not strong enough to break the national records, Taylor. I mean, maybe. All right, so we'll start looking. I mean, what am I now? I'm like 16 months from the next age class. So I'll start looking at national records and stuff, though. I mean, it might be national, but I've just broke state records in these last 3 meets. I just did state records in 2 weight classes, but I broke state records every meet. I'm qualified for nationals still. I got invited again this year. I got an invite because they said I have an elite total for my class. So it automatically gave me a preference spot if I wanted it. Like I got the official invite, like priority invites, meaning you get first picks. I don't want to go, no, Mike, I'm going to stay on replacement test, honestly, dude. For health reasons, I'm choosing to stay at just a replacement dose. So I am literally on TRT. Like I don't mean YouTube TRT. I mean actual literally in the reference range on the blood work TRT. Jason, your 365 Delta can doesn't even look like RP10. So look at me shaking. So watch me shaking at the top. You see the shake? That's everything I had. Thing is, Jason, there's no rush getting into 2D. Yeah, exactly. I'm not that far. I can push it, and you push. Just go crazy for now. I'm gonna skip on that, Mike. Mike, it's not worth it for my health. You know, especially now to still being over 200. I just feel like the compromise to my long-term health would not be worth it. And I totally get what you're saying. Like the competitor in me hears you, right? The competitor in me hears you. Like a competitor in me goes, you know what, dude, I could do a gram and a half a test straight up. A little growth. Keep my diet dialed in and not even hardly gain any weight. Sure, I could. And the competitor in me goes, hell yeah. The human being in me who wants to live and be healthy and say, hey, 20 years from now, I still want to be fit and alive and doing this says, you know, that's not a good idea. Jordan Casey, more so grip limit because of the strap. Yeah, my grip was barely, dude. I was squeezing with everything I had on that pull. So that's part of the shake. Like I couldn't hold it. That's why I had to lock it and then set it down because the grip was going to slip. But that was also with a stiff bar. If you notice, that was not a deadlift bar. That was a Texas power bar. So the bar specifically in that video was the Texas power bar. So it's a 1.5 millimeters thicker. So it's a little harder. Yeah. Because I remember that pull. Yeah, let's just stay healthy. Let's stay fit, man. You know? So to me, it's not worth it. I mean, I get what you're saying, dude. Seth said, hey, Jason, is Mr. Mike still a training app for iPhone? Yeah. No, I thought it was all, who knows? I'm not even sure at this point. At some point, everyone got to swap to hook grip or straps. No, I don't think so. I don't think they have to. Nope. Probably would. I mean, a lot of dudes would be like, hey, Jason, what would do if you did a bunch of tren? Oh, my God. Everyone would be like, what happened to Blaha's horrible genetics? You know, no, it's not worth it, though. I can't do tren at all. If I did tren, I'd be running down the street, butt naked, wearing nothing but a Viking helmet, swinging a battle axe, and be screaming blood for the blood gods, calls for the throne of corn. You know, hit that like button, Dean. Tell them, man. Tell them, get them likes up. Trying to get this second hour finished so I can earn my breakfast. You know, we have to earn those calories. What about to carb up? We're here for a good time now. I don't know about that, Mikey. I'm going to disagree. I do have a good time now. I don't need all that. Trying to plan a nice future in a lot of ways. So mixed grip at higher weights gets too risky. And I mean, I pulled 635 with a mixed grip on camera just fine a couple of years ago. Hell, I've done 605 beltless with a mixed grip on camera a couple of years back. With no belt. That was a deadlift bar, though. That's kind of cheater. You know, we're using that cheater bar, right? Using that cheater bar. I like pulling with the stiff bar a lot more. Yeah, it's harder, but, you know, like, man, just kind of, it tests you in a different way. So I did like this week, I did my rope work with the Texas power bar again. All right. You don't get that pop of that, especially when you're using steel plates. There's no bend. All right. Steel plates give less whip than iron plates. Hopefully everyone understands why. Basic physics. They're thinner. right? Notice my 45s are 1 inch thick. That's because they're steel calibrated plates. They're thinner. So we have less. Bumpers cause the most bar width. But look at the difference. Like, remember when I threw those thick training plates on that deadlift bar? I put 500 on and did 11 reps that time, right? It's all on camera, but using the training plates, the road training plates, I did 500 for 11 reps. On a deadlift bar, that bar is whooping like a mofo, though. Do rusty plates weigh more? No, they don't weigh more, dude. But they're man. See, I came up in an iron gym with all the York plates, and a lot of them were rusty. Man, we trained with those rusty iron York deep dish plates. Man, back in the day, they were all rusty, and we trained with those. That was real training. Man, I'm going to get nostalgic. I'm going to sound old as hell. I came up in an iron gym. They had like at least 100 of those York plates, right? Oh man, like that was the real deal when I came up in that environment, right? I came up in that environment. Like, everyone squatted. Like, they made you squat. You show up at the gym and you didn't squat, dude. They were like, you're a bitch. Like, straight up, dude. If a dude came in and said, I don't like to squat, the other dude said, dude, you're a bitch. Like, straight up. Like, dude, you're a little bitch. Get under the squat rack. You know? No, I mean, King Dale, glute bridges, squats will all help. Back again, Coach Jordan. I agree, hip thrusts will help. Coming back from my crown, do you not fully support half reps recently? I'm not a big fan of half reps for the most part. As you don't squat or not. And I wouldn't say that, but still. No carryover. Thanks, Jordan. That's exercise I was thinking. The guys who half squat are half men, right? You got squat, man. But squats will help. But hip thrusts, glute bridges, I mean, if you're looking for sport specificity, right? So again, are we going to talk sport specific training for bedroom cardio? I'm going to say get your conditioning up, do plenty of running, right? And do those glute bridges, man. Hip thrusts and glute bridges, right? To help you take them sugar walls to Pound Town. All right. The half sets, because I don't think there really are half sets. Like, either an exercise is working a muscle or it isn't. And if we're strong enough with high neural drive and we're close to failure, we're working the muscle. That's what the data shows, right? Even the triceps on the bench. It should build a large base. Pause squat, 20-second holds, the halfway range. I don't know about halfway. I've done 10-second plus pauses at the bottom all the way down. I think that has value. But no, man, I mean, bedroom cardio, dude. Ass to grass squats and hip thrusts. You'd be taking them sugar walls to Pound Town. The guy mentioned Kinabody. I was curious how he reps 315 on bench, but can't squat with more than 2 plates. He doesn't train his legs. Who did pistol squats, which don't do anything? Like, if I cut from there, it goes good. No, dude, because if you do it from gaining fat, all the fat leverage goes away. Guys don't understand that. You don't keep the fat leverage when you diet the fat off. So if you gain fat, your squat and bench go up from the fat itself, creating squish on the exercise. It creates external leverage. And when you remove that leverage, the extra weight goes away. Some people say mind muscle connection. I mean, there's data showing that it does. There is some degree of truth to it, at least on an EMG. I mean, now, is it going to be a game changer? No, but there's certainly some evidence that there's something to it in the lab. I'm not a big fan of leg extensions, to be honest. Occasionally, they can have a use, but I don't know that they're really bad for knees. I used to, because I know Scooby used to say the same. I don't think that I hold to that, though. Do you think compound lifts work each muscle involved the same? That's what some of the data has been showing. What? It's disappointing to see Kenny Buddy watering down his programs even more. He swapped out pull-ups for lat pull-downs. Oh, no. I just can't. That breaks my heart. All right, I'm going to wind this down, though, guys. We've done as much cardio as we can probably tolerate. I need to get some food in. So let me end the Facebook. In the Facebook. In the tubes. Look, yeah, I've done over 2 hours on the bike today, plus a 32-minute run. I'm getting kind of hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. So peace out, brothers.